Introduction and Navigation. Welcome to the PA300 video manual. Things have come a long way since Korg introduced their first arranger keyboard, the SAS-20, back in 1983. Over the decades, Korg has developed incredible arranger technologies and created the most successful and respected arranger keyboards ever made. Used by tens of thousands of music professionals in countries around the world, Korg arrangers have thrilled audiences and delighted players everywhere. The PA300 takes many of the key features of these keyboards and brings them together into an incredible balance of affordability and power. The professional sound quality and innovative intuitive features of this instrument are designed to help you perform and create music. In this hour-long video, we'll cover the main functions of your PA300. There's a lot to cover, so each exercise will be brief, but it should be enough to get you started. We recommend that you follow the video all the way through the first time, pausing when necessary. Then later go back to specific chapters. For more detailed information, the PDF manuals on the accessory disc that came with your PA300 can help you dig deeper. A musical instrument with this much power and ability can be daunting the first time you start using it, but relax. You'll learn how to get started quickly using this video manual, and you'll be a PA Series Pro in no time. If possible, have a USB memory device such as a pen drive with a standard MIDI file, a karaoke MIDI file, and an MP3 file on it for the song play section. Don't worry if you don't have all these things right now. You can always come back later if you want, when you do have them. By the way, don't worry if the styles and sounds in your PA300 are different or organized in different locations than shown in the video. The ones used in this video are for example only. If you are instructed to select a particular style or sound, and either it isn't there or the name is different, select any other and continue to follow along. Okay, before we get started, let's restart the PA300 so we'll both be in the same place from the beginning. Hold down the standby button for a few seconds to turn it off. The screen will dim for a short period, then go completely black. Now turn it back on. It takes a minute or so to load all the necessary data in, like styles, sounds, etc., similar to when you start a computer. While the data is loading, let's look at a few things on the top panel of the PA300. Because this instrument is mainly designed for performance, there are many switches and knobs on the top panel assigned to functions for immediate access. For now, let's get familiar with a few of the main ones. For example, the joystick, used to control different parameters of the sounds. Master volume. The balance knob, used to adjust the balance between the sounds you are playing on the keyboard, these are called the keyboard tracks, and the sounds of the accompaniment or song. For now, set this to the middle position. To the right, you'll find the mode buttons for accessing the three basic functions of the PA300: playing styles, playing songs, and creating songs. Global is for adjusting parameters that affect the PA300 as a whole, such as assigning functions to a foot switch. Media is for accessing save, load, and other internal and external drive functions. These are the style element buttons used to trigger the intros, variations, etc. of each style. The red start-stop button used for starting and stopping the style or song. These four buttons give direct access to selecting styles, sounds, and songs, as well as Songbook, a special feature for organizing songs and styles for your performance. The Performance Select buttons to access several keyboard track settings, as well as the My Setting button to quickly access your most favorite keyboard track setup. These buttons adjust the octave of the upper keyboard sounds. These buttons quickly transpose the entire PA300 up and down. And this turns split on and off. The value dial to adjust the parameter values. The menu button that brings up the available edit pages on the screen, and the exit button to return to the top page. The color touch screen, the heart of the PA300 interface. Below the screen are the four single touch setting buttons, abbreviated as STS, for accessing keyboard track settings saved with each style. The back of the PA300 is where you'll find the headphone output. This is used for line out as well. The assignable pedal or damper connector is where you can connect either a pedal, like the optional EXP2 for controlling things like volume, a foot switch like the optional PS1 for controlling things like starting and stopping a style, or a damper pedal. USB host port for connecting external drives such as a USB memory stick, and a USB device port for connecting the internal drive to a computer. Now that the PA300 has finished powering up, let me show you how to adjust the brightness of the display. Hold down the menu button and turn the dial to adjust it to the setting that works best for you. It will retain that setting until you choose to adjust it again. Also, for the purposes of this video, Easy Mode needs to be off. Easy Mode reduces the amount of displayed parameters, making a simpler and easier interface. Let me show you what I mean. You'll notice that the screen has a lot of information, and there are several tabs with more information. Touch the small rectangle in the upper right corner of the screen to open the Page menu, like a drop-down menu on a computer. Touch Easy Mode. You'll notice now that the screen has only the most basic information with no additional tabs. This is very useful for performance, or when you just want the basic functions of the PA300. For this video, Easy Mode needs to be off, so open the Page menu again and touch Easy Mode to turn it off. Your screen should look like this. Your PA300 comes with several demo songs. Press Style Play and Song Play simultaneously to enter demo mode. After a few seconds, the first song starts and will play through each of the songs, showing the sounds, styles, and capabilities of this amazing instrument. You can jump to specific songs by selecting from one of these three categories: full songs, solo instruments, or styles. Touch Full Songs, then select a song, for example, Dance. Pressing Exit returns you to the category selection. Pressing one of the mode buttons exits from demo mode. Press Style Play. The PA300 is designed so that when you turn it off and on, the status of a few of the panel switches will return to how they were when you turned the PA300 off. For example, if autofill was on, then it will be on after you restart. If it was off, then it will be off when you restart. This ensures that the PA300 is exactly how you like it set up as soon as you turn it on. For the purposes of this video manual, we need to start with your PA300 set the same as mine. So make sure the following switches are set this way. Autofill should be on, the memory button should be on, and manual bass should be off. To avoid wasting power, your PA300 will automatically turn off if you don't play it, press any buttons, or use the touchscreen for a period of 2 hours. Please save your data, for example, performances, styles, songs, etc., that you are working on before taking a prolonged pause. This auto power off feature is on by default, but can be shut off in global mode. You may have a damper pedal that you'd like to connect to your PA300. Like on a piano, holding down a damper pedal sustains the notes you are playing. If you don't have one now, don't worry, you can do this operation later on when you do. But if you do have one, let me show you a couple of things. You connect the damper pedal here. There are many different damper pedals available, so it's a good idea to calibrate the PA300 to your particular pedal the first time you use it. Go to Global Mode by pressing the Global button. Touch Controllers. Then touch the Foot Controller tab. Touch Calibration. Press and hold down the pedal and touch here. Now release the pedal and touch here. Done. This calibration is automatically saved, and you won't need to do it again until you use a different pedal or foot switch. Press Exit. Sounds. Since the high-quality PA300 sounds are the basis of the styles and your playing, in this chapter we'll look at the sounds in depth. When the instrument is first turned on, the default style is unplugged ballad 1, and a stereo piano sound is across the whole range of the keyboard. To select a sound, touch the upper 1 area in the upper right corner of the screen containing the name of the current sound, Grand Piano RX. Touch any sound on the screen to select the sound you want, for example, G Piano Stack 2. Press Exit to return to the main screen. You can also press the sound button from the group of selection buttons to open the same sound selection window. The screen displays 8 sounds at a time, but you can access more sounds by touching the tabs along the bottom. Pressing the sound selection button repeatedly steps through the tabs. The sounds are grouped in categories which can be selected using the tabs on the left and right. Additional groups of sounds can be accessed with the tabs along the top. Make sure you're on the Factory tab. Select the Strings and Vocal category. You'll notice there are 4 pages of sounds, but touching this arrow takes you to more pages. Go to page 6 and select Scat Voices RX2. How hard you play the notes, or velocity as it is called, can create significant changes in the sound, not just making the sound louder and brighter. In this case, switching between several different vocal nuances. Touch Legacy at the top of the screen. Go to the Organ category and select Perk Short Decay. There's a rotary speaker effect on this program. Pushing the joystick forward changes the speed. No need to hold it. In fact, the PA300 has a huge library of effects like chorus, distortion, etc. that can be used to enhance the keyboard and accompaniment tracks. Effects will be explained in detail in the Styles chapter. Press Exit. You can have up to 3 sounds in the upper range and 1 sound in the lower. Let's combine some sounds. For the upper 1 sound, touch Factory, and from the Piano category, select Grand Piano RX. Press Exit. Notice that the screen shows that upper 2 and 3 are muted. Touch here to unmute upper 2. And now upper 3. The split button is off, so even though these 3 sounds are referred to as upper 1, 2, and 3, they are playable across the entire range of the keyboard. Press the split button, and now the 3 upper sounds are above the split point, and you now have access to the lower sound. Let's choose a different sound. Touch the lower sound name, and then either touch it again or press the sound selection button. Go to the Synth Pad category, choose Warm Pad, and press Exit. By the way, when the style is stopped, you'll notice that even if lower is muted, the lower sound will play as well as the bass sound from the style. This is called bass and lower backing, and is very useful for playing introductions to songs. However, if you wish, you can disable this function in Global. We'll look at this in the Global Media chapter. Let's make some more changes. You can quickly bring all the upper sounds down 1 octave by pressing the upper octave minus button. You can even go to the Subscale tab and change to a different scale, such as Arabic. Set it back to equal. Let's adjust the level of upper 3. Touch the Volume tab to display and adjust the volumes. Touch in the upper 3 volume area. Now use the value dial to adjust the level. Another way is to directly touch and drag the slider on the screen. We can save the keyboard track setup we've created to one of the performance locations. A quick way is to hold down any one of the performance buttons until the right screen appears, where you can name it and choose the bank and location to save to. We won't do that right now, so touch Cancel, and let's take a closer look at performances. It's important to understand the difference between a sound and a performance. As we saw earlier, sounds are used individually or combined together for your keyboard tracks. We used a sound from the Piano category for upper 1, a sound from the SynthPad category for lower, etc. Sometimes your keyboard tracks might be a layer of 3 sounds on the top plus a sound in the lower, or it could simply be 1 sound in the upper. Whatever your keyboard tracks are, including the levels, panning, effects, etc., they can be saved and recalled as a performance. Think of the performances as a library of your favorite keyboard track setups. On the right, there are 6 performance buttons. These open up a selection of performances that you can choose from the display. For example, press Winds and select Sweet Alto Sax. As you can see, there are several provided by Korg. These tabs take you to more groups of 8 performances. You can also repeatedly press the performance category buttons to advance through the tabs. Press Exit. Press the My Setting button. This button accesses your most favorite performance and is the first one selected when you turn on the PA300. It's currently a stereo piano across the whole keyboard, but you can set it to be whatever you like to use the most. That might be a layer of electric piano and strings, a split of organ and guitar, etc. It's a fast and easy way to jump to your favorite setting while performing. Let's make a quick edit to my setting. Unmute upper 2 so we have a layer of piano and synth pad. Now hold down the My Setting button until the right screen appears. Touching OK on the screen would continue the write process and write over the current setting. For now, touch Cancel to keep the original My Setting unchanged. Touch the STS Name tab. Each style has 4 keyboard tracks saved with it. These are called single touch settings and are selected using the 4 STS buttons under the screen. When saving a style to the Songbook, if you want, you can change them by using a performance or by editing or creating your own. This will be explained in the Songbook chapter. Sounds are also used by the different tracks of the style accompaniment. For example, the bass track might use a synth bass sound, another track might use an electric piano sound, etc. This will be explained in the Styles chapter. So basically, the keyboard tracks, performances, single touch settings, and style tracks are all accessing the same library of sounds inside your PA300. And there are hundreds to choose from, so the possibilities are endless. Styles. Let's look at selecting and playing styles. You should still be in Style Play mode. If not, then press Style Play. In the previous chapter, we were selecting different performances, STS, etc. So for now, press My Setting and you should have the piano across the whole range of the keyboard. Play a chord anywhere on the keyboard with 3 or more notes and press Start. Each style has 15 style elements. These are used to recreate the parts of songs, intros, variations, fills, endings, etc. You use these buttons to select the style element. This style is playing Intro 1. The flashing light above Variation 2 means that after playing the intro, it will go to that variation. You'll notice that the countdown of the measures remaining in the intro are displayed on the screen here. As you go from Variation 1 to 4, the musical parts naturally build and get busier in the same way a typical song builds. You'll notice that since autofill is on, a fill is automatically played into the selected variation. Of course, you can turn this off so no fill is played. Turn it back on and press Stop. To select a style, touch the style name and simply touch the style you want. For now, select Desert Shuffle and press Exit. Let's use STS1, one of the 4 single touch settings saved with this style. Now select Intro 1, trigger a chord in the lower range. Split is on, so one note is enough to trigger a major chord. Press Start. Intro 1 has a chord progression. Intro 2 doesn't have a chord progression. It's designed to respond to your chords. Intro 3 is a short intro designed to get into the song quickly. Endings 1, 2, and 3 work the same way. You can also press the Style button from the group of selection buttons to open the Style selection window. The styles are grouped in categories and can be selected on screen using the tabs on the left and right. The tabs along the bottom take you to more styles in that category. Like we saw before with the Sound Selection button, pressing the Style Selection button repeatedly steps through the tabs. Select the Funk and Soul category, then Urban Funk. Press Exit. Even though we selected a new style, the previous keyboard tracks stay the same until we choose one of the new style's STS or one of the performances. Select this style's STS1. You'll notice that split is on, so the PA300 is now using lower chord scanning, triggering the chords below the split point. Play a chord in the lower range and press Start. You can also choose to turn split off and trigger the chords using full chord scanning, triggering the chords anywhere on the keyboard. With full chord scanning, the chord isn't triggered until you play 3 or more notes. In Global, you can select other systems of triggering chords. Details are in the PDF manuals. Go to the Pop category and select Modern Beat. Press Exit. As you can see, you can change to another style without stopping. There are several buttons and controls to help you interact with the styles. For example, this accompaniment button that turns the accompaniment on and off, giving you the option to play along with the drums only. This memory button controls whether the full accompaniment plays when you release the keys, or only the drums continue. Turn memory back on. Manual bass mutes the accompaniment except for drums and percussion, and allows you to play bass in the lower along with the upper keyboard tracks. Turn off manual bass. You'll notice that the bass will always play the root of the chord you are playing no matter what inversion you play. If you go to the Split tab and turn on bass inversion, the bass will play the lowest note in your chord. Bass inversion on-off is saved with each STS or performance. Press Stop. As mentioned in the Sounds chapter, each style has 4 keyboard setups saved with it. These are called single touch settings, abbreviated as STS. You can quickly access them by pressing the STS buttons under the display. Touch the STS Name tab, and you can see the names and touch them directly on the display. Select STS3. This is a layer of flugelhorn and vibes. Ensemble can be used to add harmonies to the upper sounds based on the chords you play. You can select from a variety of different harmonies. Press Menu and touch Keyboard Ensemble and go to the Ensemble tab. Press Exit. By the way, you can quickly jump to the edit page of a button by holding down Shift and pressing the button you want to edit. For example, pad assignment, setting the ensemble type, etc. Press Exit. From the Movie and Show category, Page 2, Mystery Man. Play a chord. This time, we'll use the tap tempo to start the style. Tapping the button 4 times sets the tempo and starts the style. These pad buttons can have sounds assigned to them, or even additional patterns that follow the chords you play and sync with the style. They can play once when you press it, or loop. Traditional category, German polka. To the right of the Start-Stop button, you will find the Synchro Start-Stop button. This controls how the accompaniment starts or stops as you play the keyboard. Press the button until Synchro Start and Stop are both off. Inside the PA300, there are 125 studio quality effects. To understand them better, let's look at how effects are incorporated into the PA300 using Style Play mode as an example. Rock category, Fire Rock, STS1. Press Menu, then touch Effects. There are two groups of effects. They are referred to as FX Group A and FX Group B. FX Group A is used for the accompaniment tracks, and FX Group B is used for the keyboard tracks. FX Group A and B are two sets of master effects. Master effects are mixed in parallel together with the dry signal coming from a track. Each track has access to both of the master effects, and the amount of effect can be set for each track individually. Select FX Group A tab. You select the master effect you want here, and these tabs access each of the effect's parameters. Notice that in this particular case, Master Effect 1 is a reverb effect and Master Effect 2 is a chorus effect. Press Menu, touch Mixer Tuning, and go to the Effects Send page. Pressing Track Select toggles between displaying the settings of the accompaniment tracks and the keyboard tracks. Display the accompaniment tracks. The amount of each of the master effects can be set for each track here. In this case, setting how much reverb and chorus you want for the drum track, the bass track, etc. The amount of the Effects Group B master effects for each keyboard track is set here. Press Exit. Although we've been using Style Play to explain the effects, the other modes logically work the same way. In Song Play, the sequence tracks use FX Group A, and the keyboard tracks use FX Group B. In sequencer mode, each track has access to either FX Group A or B. The PA300 is very flexible, giving you the power to shape the instrument to your musical needs. For example, drums. You can simply change a style's drum kit from a power kit to a techno kit, or you can go deeper and make changes to a drum within a kit using the Drum Editor feature. Details are in the PDF manual. In fact, all parts of a style can be completely edited. However, it's best to keep the factory styles unchanged. Songbook is the perfect way to customize the styles to your needs and be able to call them up in a logical and efficient way, as you'll see in the Songbook chapter. If you do want to edit a factory style, it's best to copy it to a user location, then edit the copied style. From the Dance category, select Electro Dance. While we're here, notice you can hold down the Shift button and select multiple styles. Now open the Page menu and touch Copy and Paste. Touch the Favorite User tab, then the User 1 tab, and touch the location you want the style copied to, for example, this one in the upper left. Since we copied multiple styles, they'll be pasted sequentially starting with the first location selected. Touch one of the copied styles and open the Page menu again, and you'll see there are other useful commands like Rename, Delete, plus a command to rename each of the favorite banks. Press Exit twice. Song Play. Let's go to Song Play mode. The Korg PA300 has the ability to play several types of song files: standard MIDI files, karaoke MIDI files, and even MP3 files. Plus, it is designed so that playing these files is integrated smoothly into your performance in a useful and flexible way. The files are played directly from the internal media or from media inserted into the USB host port of the PA300. As mentioned at the start of this video, if you want to follow along with this exercise, you'll need a USB flash drive with a MIDI file, a karaoke MIDI file, and one MP3 on it. Reach back and insert the flash drive into the USB port on the back of the instrument. Touch the player area on the screen, and the window opens to select the song you want. Currently, the internal drive is displayed, so touch here to change it to the USB drive we inserted. Touch the name of one of the MIDI files. If there are several files, you can use the scroll bar to move up and down, or touch one of the files and use the dial. Once the song is selected on the screen, touch Select, then press Start. The song is loading and playing at the same time, so it starts immediately. Press Stop. Let's look at the other transport controls. M on the screen is short for measure, displaying the measure the song is currently at. If we press Start, it will continue from the point we stopped at. The ending 1, 2, and 3 buttons are used for additional transport controls when in song play mode and sequencer mode. Pressing the Rewind button goes back one measure at a time. The Fast Forward button goes forward one measure at a time. Holding down either button scrolls quickly. This button returns the song to the first measure. All 3 buttons can be used while the song is playing as well. There are a few ways to adjust the tempo of a song. This is true for adjusting the tempo of styles as well. You can touch the displayed tempo twice, and a numeric keypad appears, and you can enter the tempo you want. You can hold down the Shift button and use the dial, or use the dedicated tempo up-down buttons. You'll notice a lock button beside the tempo up-down buttons. Pressing this locks the tempo value and keeps that same tempo when you change to the next song or style. Tap tempo, which we used in the style chapter, can only be used to set the tempo of styles. The PA300 has several tools to interact with the song player. For example, playing along. You can quickly select one of the performances to use. Some MIDI files have lyrics embedded in them, for example, a file with a .kar extension. Let's load a .kar song into the song player, this time by pressing Song from the group of selection buttons. Press Start. To display the lyrics, press the Lyrics Score button located above the Split button. The lyrics follow along. By the way, the PA300 can even display the +G graphical format as well as lyrics embedded in MP3s. If there are no lyrics, you have the option to have the lyrics in a text file and use a pedal or the display to advance the pages of text. This will be explained in the Songbook chapter. Pressing the Lyrics Score button again displays a selected track's musical notation. Press Exit and stop. As mentioned earlier, MP3 files can be played in song play mode as well. Select an MP3 file the same way you would a MIDI file. Press Start. Playing an MP3 on the PA300 is very flexible. Of course, you can quickly choose a performance to play along with the MP3, but there's much more. For example, you can transpose the song, or adjust the tempo. If there are lyrics embedded, pressing the Lyrics Score button will display them. Press Stop. This control of an MP3 allows you to take a song, adjust the tempo, adjust the pitch to a key you can comfortably sing it in, and sing along following the lyrics displayed on the screen. You'll be able to perform almost any song. Incredible power. Songbook. Songbook is an extremely powerful feature of your PA300. It's a programmable musical database. Press Songbook from the group of selection buttons. Basically, you have a list of song titles. When you select a song title, it automatically brings up a style, a standard MIDI file, a karaoke MIDI file, or an MP3 for you to use to perform that song. There are several titles already provided by Korg, and of course you can create your own. Notice that you can sort by different criteria by touching the top of each column. Touch the song title A Day in Paradise, and touch Select. and you are automatically taken to Style Play mode. The appropriate style has been called up to perform that song with the best choice of intro and variation. 4 STS are also saved with the song title. Press Start. As well, tempo, effects, etc. are also called up. Press Stop. You'll notice that the song titles included are recognizable but not the exact title you may be familiar with, but you can usually tell what song it's referring to. Feel free to edit the song titles to whatever you like by touching Book Edit 1, then Write. As always, touching the T takes you to the text input screen. For now, touch Cancel or Exit twice. Let's create our own songbook entry using a style. Press Exit to go to the main Style Play mode page, and select from the World category 4/4 Flamenco. Press Exit. We can set the style up exactly how we want it to appear later. For example, starting with Variation 2 with Intro 2 as the introduction. Always select the variation you want first, then the intro you want. Let's also speed up the tempo a bit and set it to 123 BPM. Now go back to Songbook. We're still on the Book Edit 1 page. Touch New Song. This box is automatically checked off to include the 4 STS already saved with the style. Book Edit 2 page is where you can input information like the genre of the song and the artist. This helps when searching later for a type of song you want to perform. Again, touching the T takes you to where you can input the name. You can even save the key info to remind you what key the song is in. Book Edit 3 page has more parameters that can be saved with the song title, for example, the status of the synchro start. Once you have everything set, touch Write. Touch T and name the song entry My Song. We made some basic changes to the style before saving it to Songbook, but you can make changes to the style in several different ways to suit a wide variety of songs. You can change the instrumentation, for example, change the electric bass on the bass track to a synth bass, make edits to any of the sounds used in the style, even change and edit the effects and much more. And it can all be done without affecting the original style or having to duplicate it in order to make the necessary changes. Go to the Book page, and there's our song entry. The PA300 doesn't come with any MIDI files or MP3s, so all the song titles from the factory are set up to recall styles. Let's add one of the standard MIDI files from your USB thumb drive to the Songbook. Like with the style we added, we set up everything how we want it and then save it to Songbook. Press Exit to leave Songbook, then go to Song Play mode. Load in a MIDI file. A quick way to save a song entry is to hold down the Songbook selection button. This takes us to the Save screen. It has the current name of the standard MIDI file. We'll leave it as it is. Touch OK. Touch Yes. Done. We saved a MIDI file this time, but we could have saved an MP3 or a karaoke MIDI file to the Songbook as well. You can edit and add things to your Songbook entry later on. For example, let's add an STS and lyrics to the entry we just made. Back to Songbook. Choose another performance. Go to Book Edit 1 page, check off this STS Write Current box, and choose to save it to STS1. Now go to Book Edit 3. I've already used my computer to create a .txt file with the lyrics to this song, and saved it to my USB stick. Touch Browse. Navigate to the USB drive, touch the .txt file, and then select. OK, we're ready to save everything. Touch Write. We'll leave the name the same. Touch OK, then Yes to confirm. Now go to the Book page and select the Songbook entry we just created. STS1 is just as we wanted. Press Lyrics, and there are the lyrics. However, this is just a text file, so the lyrics won't follow along. You can touch the scroll bar to advance to the next page of lyrics or assign this to an optional foot switch. Go back to Songbook. Typically, performers prepare set lists for a show, a list of songs they will play. You can prepare several custom lists using Songbook. Go to the Custom List page. Here you can select which list you want. As you can see, Korg has included a few already. Open the Page menu and check Enable List Edit, and then touch outside the menu. The List Edit page becomes available. You can either edit an existing list or create a new one. Let's create a new one by touching New List. Now let's add the first song title we made. Go to the Book page. There are many song titles, so you can use the scroll bar or the dial to find the song. You can also hold down the Shift button and touch the arrows above or below the scroll bar to jump to the next or previous alphabetical section. But let's use the search function to find our song. Press the search button. Touch in the text box and type the name of what you're looking for. You can type in the whole name or just part of it. Type in My and touch Search. Here are all the Songbook entries with My in the name. There's ours. Touch it, then select. This search feature can be used in different modes to locate any resource, including styles, performances, etc. Now that we've selected the song, touch Add to List. Go to the List Edit page, and there's our song. Let's go back to the Book page and add another 2 songs. Back to List Edit page. We can move the songs around by selecting a title and touching the Move Up and Down arrows. Once the list is ready, touch Write. Name it. And touch OK to confirm the text. OK, then Yes to save the list. Now open the Page menu and uncheck Enable List Edit. Touch the Custom List tab. There's our set list. Press Exit to leave Songbook. There's also a free Songbook editor for PC available for download from Korg.com. It's a powerful and useful tool that includes fast multiple import for standard MIDI files and MP3s, plus many editing features. A video explaining Songbook and the editor in detail can be found on Korg.com as well. Recording a song. There are 3 basic ways to record a song on the PA300. Backing sequence, sometimes called quick record, step backing sequence, and traditional 16-track MIDI recording. With the backing sequence method, it's not necessary to record each track separately as you do with traditional sequencing. Any style can be used, and as you play, each of the accompaniment tracks is recorded on a separate sequencer track. For example, the drums, the bass, the organ, etc. Make sure you're in Style Play mode, and select a style. I'm going to use the one from the Contemporary category, AM/PM. Go to Sequencer mode and press the Record button near the lower left of the screen. Select Backing Sequence Quick Record on the screen and touch OK. Let's choose Variation 1 and use Intro 3 to start the song off. Set the resolution to 1/8 notes. This will correct the input of your chords, style elements, etc., not the music, to the nearest 1/8 note. This isn't necessary, but can help to make the chord changes and style element selections happen exactly where you want them. Pressing the Start/Stop button will simultaneously start the style and start the sequencer recording after 1 measure pre-count. I'm going to use STS1. Trigger the initial chord first. Now we're ready. Press Start. Play a few chords. Press Variation 2. Ending 3. Press Stop. It will automatically bring the song back to measure 1. Press Start. All the tracks of the style have been recorded following your chords, variations, endings, etc. This is already impressive. The song you just created would have taken hours and hours to make with a traditional sequencer. But imagine you made a mistake or changed your mind about the chord progression or what variation should have been used. With a traditional sequencer, you have to edit every single track, even if you simply wanted an E7 chord instead of a G major chord. This leads us to the second way to record on the PA300 step backing sequence. With step backing sequence, you can enter in step by step what the chord progression is, what variation you want to have on what measure, etc. This allows you to record songs that may be more difficult than you have the time or patience for. It's also perfect for musicians who don't play a lot of keyboards, like guitarists, singers, etc. But the other advantage of step backing sequence is being able to go into a song you created with backing sequence and make changes quickly and easily. For example, let's say we want to change a chord in the song and also change one of the variations used. Press Record, choose Step Backing Sequence, and touch OK. You can step through the events by measure, by eighth note, or by each event. Let's change the first chord from A minor to E7 by selecting the chord and playing the new chord on the keyboard. Move to the next A minor, and change it to an E7 as well, but rather than playing the chord, use the screen to change it. Let's move ahead to where Variation 2 happens and change it to Variation 4. Touch Done, and then Yes. Press Start to hear the changes. Now let's add a track using the traditional sequencer method. Press the Record button and choose Multi-Track Sequencer. The Track Select button is used to switch between tracks 1 through 8 and 9 through 16. The tracks of the style have been recorded on tracks 9 through 16, so display tracks 1 through 8, then touch here to arm track 6 to record. Touch the sound bank icon and select the sound you want. Then exit. This time, let's set the resolution to high so the timing won't be corrected. Once you press Start, there will be a 1-measure pre-count, then it will start recording. Press the Record button to exit recording, and press Start. When the PA300 is turned off, the song you just created will be erased. If you leave from sequencer mode to another mode, for example style play, the song will be erased as well, but a warning does appear telling you this will delete the song. Touch No to cancel, and let's save the song to the USB flash drive. Open the Page menu and select Save Song. The USB is probably still the selected device, so just touch Save. Touch T and name your song. and touch OK to confirm the text, then OK, then Yes to save it. Your song has been saved as a standard MIDI file that can be played in song play mode or loaded into other sequencers. Go to Style Play Mode. We've saved the song, so touch Yes in reply to the prompt. The PA300 is an incredible tool to create your own music. The styles inspire you, and then you have several ways to capture your inspiration. Global, Media, and Updates. Press Global. Global is where you access parameters that affect the instrument as a whole, for example, master tuning. Let's look at a few examples. Press Menu, then touch Controllers. Make sure you're on the Foot Controller tab. We saw in the first chapter how to connect and calibrate a damper pedal. Instead, you could connect an optional foot switch to do a variety of functions using this page in Global. The function of the foot switch is selected here. Press Menu and touch Audio and EQ. If you want to connect to an external speaker system, you use the headphone output. You choose whether the output is being used for headphones or line out here. You can adjust the overall EQ of the PA300 on this page. Press Menu, Mode Preferences. In the Styles chapter, we saw how the bass and lower sound play when the style is stopped. This is where that function, bass and lower backing, can be turned on or off. Any changes to Global are automatically saved into memory. Press Media. Here you can access the internal memory to save and load your own data. It's also possible to connect to a computer using the USB device port on the back, allowing you to access the PA300 internal memory. For example, to drag and drop MP3 files between your computer and the PA300. Media also gives you access to whatever is connected to the USB host port on the back, for example, USB pen drives, hard drives, etc. As you can see, Media allows a variety of options to save, load, copy, and more. Let's save our PA300 data to the USB pen drive to see how the process is done. Go to the Save page, touch All, and touch Save To. Choose the USB drive. Touch New Set. Touch the T and name your file, for example, My Backup. And touch OK to confirm the text. Touch OK. Here we can select what data we want to save. That's why it's called a set. It's a collection of different types of data. Leave the selection as it is and touch OK, then Yes to confirm. To load a file, go to the Load page. Touch the data type you want to load. You can see that you can touch Open and select individual data to load. But for this example, touch Close, touch it, then touch Load, then Yes. Remember that there are several free resources available from Korg.com, like more video tutorials, software, sounds, and many more styles. Even though a style may have been created for a previous PA series, when you load them in, they will automatically be converted to work in the PA300. By the way, if for some reason you want to go back to the factory preload, still in Media, go to the Utility tab, select Factory Restore, then touch Execute. Be careful, because touching OK will erase any user styles, sounds, songbook entries, etc. and load in the factory data. So you may want to back up your own data first. For now, touch here to cancel the process. It's a good idea to check Korg.com occasionally for operating system updates to your PA300. Korg looks for ways to improve your instrument, including the addition of features requested by end users. The operating system version of your PA300 is displayed in the lower left of this utility page. To update your operating system, or OS as it is called, download the OS file from Korg.com. It will be named something like this. The V100 refers to the OS version number. Unzip the archive, then copy the file, for example, PA300_OS_V100.pkg, to a USB device like a flash drive. To be safe, be sure to back up any of your own data that's on the internal drive before installing a new OS. Usually there's no problem, but it's best to make a backup in case something does happen. Turn off the PA300, then insert the USB device containing the PKG file. Now hold down Intro 1 and turn on the PA300. Keep holding the Intro 1 button until System Update appears on the screen. Release the Intro 1 button, and when prompted, do the touch panel calibration. The prompt asks you to select the PKG to install. Touch OK. Select the USB drive, then touch the PKG file. Press Select. The PA300 verifies the PKG file, then this screen appears. Touch Update, and the update process begins. Do not turn off the PA300 during the update process. Wait until you see this message. Then turn the PA300 off, then on, and the update is complete. Okay, that's it. We hope you found this video helpful, and remember that for more information, the PDF manuals cover every detail of this amazing instrument. Everyone at Korg wants to thank you for purchasing your PA300. You have so much musical enjoyment ahead of you. You made the right choice.